G'day. A few people have sort of asked me sort of vaguely what I do. I don't go out bush all the time, but I thought I may as well kind of show you, and I'm not really sure how this is going to work because I'm doing this from my phone, but we'll see. So actually, I really don't know how I'm going to do this. Anyway, let's give this a go, and I'm going to see whether this is going to work or not. And it probably won't, so I'll probably have to delete the video. But anyway, here goes. So, I don't know whether you can see that or not. Bearing in mind, I can't see what the screen of my phone looks like. So, in effect, there's two lists. One says 2-story, the other one says single story. So for those in America, single story is what we call ranch style. So they're just one level. The other 2-story one is basically 2 levels, so downstairs and upstairs. And you'll notice these numbers down the side. So starting with 5 going through to 25. That's the width of them. So somewhere between 0 and 5 meters. So I'm going to zoom in, and I apologize in advance, but we have 2 houses. So this one is what we call a terrace block. So you've got the front door, lounge, kitchen, meals, laundry, veranda, carport. So the cars actually come in from the back and you walk in from the front. And upstairs we've got a balcony, an ensuite, a bedroom, a retreat slash lounge room, and 2 bedrooms. So bedroom 3, bedroom 2, and then the bath and the toilet. So that's what you get roughly on a 5 metre by 25 metre deep block. So quite small. And often you'll see a street which has 20 of these on there. So, and that goes right the way up to 25 metres. And this was one I just did when I was bored. So you've got lounge, bedroom 1 downstairs, ensuite, his and hers dressing room, triple garage with like a kids retreat. So, you know, if your grandma still lives at home, then she's got her own family meals kitchen and a bedroom and a walk-in robe and ensuite. And then next door you've got where, you know, the family lives, I suppose, and then you've got a home theatre up the back. And then upstairs we've got rumpus, games, and 3 bedrooms, each with walk-in robes and each with their own ensuite. And then you get to what I call a hammerhead, and that's where you've got an existing house at the front and you want to build a house at the back. So the car comes up the driveway, it's able to reverse and drive out in a forwards direction. So that's a 2-story version. And then we've also got apartment blocks. So downstairs you've got your offices, you've got all your car parking, you've got your toilets, you've got your disabled toilets, you've got hot water services, community bin location, you've got your stairs, and obviously comes in that way, goes out that way. And then upstairs you've got apartment sort of living, so you've got 2 bedrooms, family meals, kitchen, and then a combined bathroom, laundry with your own entrance, and of course a kitchen and a balcony. And each one of these are set up in a similar way. So the corner ones, bedrooms, family meals, kitchen, bathroom, ensuite, and a balcony. So, you know, and that can go up as many floors as you wish. And then, excuse me again for the movement, but single story, similar thing again. So in South Australia we do get very narrow blocks, and a lot of the work that I used to do used to be subdividing one single block into 2, which meant that some of the blocks got quite narrow, but still we were managing to fit 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, separate lounge, family, kitchen, and a garage. So that would be mirror reversed over the other side. And that block, as you can see, is 6.72, or that house is 6.72 metres wide. So it's designed for a block that's 15.24 metres wide that will actually fit 2 houses. And again, you kind of go up to the really wide ones. So you're starting to get into what we term as ranch style. So ranch style is basically where you've got acreage, so a big farm, and you want to build a new house for the family. So in this case, we've got a master bedroom. You walk through the walk-in robe into the ensuite. You've got your garages, you've got a big storeroom, and in this case, we've got 5 bedrooms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, along with a home theatre / lounge. Then you've got a family meals with an open kitchen that looks out over the top. In this case, you've got a gas fireplace, so a bit of a feature. And then, of course, you've got your kitchen with the pantry, walk-in pantry, and the laundry and bathroom all set aside there. So, and each bedroom has walk-in robes. And then, of course, you've got a big veranda, which I don't really see a lot of in other countries, but in Australia, we tend to do undercover verandas, so it's virtually used all year round, whether it be in the summer or the winter, and people often put plastic blinds, roll-down blinds around the edge that they can sort of put a gas heater in the corner that heats it all up, and that can be used during winter or during summer. You open it all up and you've got basically your entire area that you can have Christmas and that sort of thing. So all of these houses are houses that I've designed from scratch. There's quite a lot of them. There's about 2,000 houses there that you're looking at. And then, so when you go into drawing, you start getting into more detail. So we've got things like brick veneer, which is basically your brick on the outside, your timber frame, then your gyprock. So that's your general eave detail, and that's used quite commonly here in Australia. So what I can do is just go Control-C, Control-V. So pick it up here, drop it in another drawing file, and I don't have to redraw it again. So that's got a ColourBond roof, and then of course you've got the same again for concrete tiled roofs with your battens and your roof tiles. So there's all sorts of details on this page. Everything from standard sections that I've done to wet area details. So that's your bathrooms and laundries, etc. Then you've got cars, so including the ultimate VW Bug, because often we have to actually add cars, and that's why there's what we call turning circles. So we use these to make sure that somebody has got enough space to be able to reverse a car out and obviously drive it out in the forwards direction, similar to what was on those hammerhead blocks. And then of course we've got furniture. More often than not, we're drawing house plans to hand out at display homes, and so we have to show furniture on them. Everything from dining room tables to beds to couches and land and things like that. And then sometimes we do commercial buildings, so obviously you've got the standard symbols that we use here in Australia for various things. Spiral staircases. Then we've got typical footing details for brick veneer. So we've already got what's happening up at the eave. Now we want to know what's happening down on the ground where the slab is. So we've got all those details, including trees, landscaping, down to hot water service, meter box, wall basin, air conditioning units. That's a clothesline. We call them Hills Rotary. And of course ceiling fans, and then you've got different types of planting schedules that we'll often have to do for a landscaping schedule. And then we've got disabled. So obviously a wheelchair needs to go into the vanity basin. You've got the folding seat. You've got the rails for the toilet, the shower rail. So you can see all of that just sitting there, just waiting to be used on certain jobs. So there's all sorts of things here that I can come in here, grab and move when I need to. So stormwater details, we've got all the notes. We've also got a couple of jobs that I've just copied and pasted into here. So, for the notes, for the way that I've done it, and I can use that on multiple jobs. And then of course, we've got toys like an F-18 Hornet, maybe a 747 or 747, just little fun things that I like to play with every now and again. There's all those sort of things, and all of that goes onto a set of drawings that I do, or a lot of it. So, and I sit here for roughly 9 hours a day doing this stuff, and that's my Monday to Friday, and I work for myself. I've had my business for around about 17 years now. Before that, I worked for a number of builders in Adelaide, both doing drawings as well as admin work. I've worked for local government, a whole bunch of places. So all of that goes together. I'm not sure how well that turned out, but I'll leave it at that, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good day.